back, everybody. Well, we've got an action-packed episode today. We've got a little bit of everything. We got a new AKA Ranch Hand Steve on the place. We'll introduce you to him. Sassy Pants is coming. We got Redmond Salt delivered yesterday. It's a wild time here at Ranching Sodak. And that's what's happening on Ranching Sodak. Got these little guys moved over here because what's happening here? Demo has started, so there'll be a whole video on this. But here's what we did yesterday afternoon. We're tearing her down. It was hard to see go because all of our little fancy contraptions and junk gates that we built. But we're gonna tear all this out. This will all get tore out. The windbreak will be gone. The working shed's gonna be gone. This whole thing will be cleared out. I'm gonna bring in a bunch of dirt to level this out, and I got a 30 by 60 hoop shed coming. Not gonna tell you the brand because they won't give me no discount on it. We'll probably have to block that out like it's some type of unadulterated logo. I couldn't get them to budge. Kind of made me mad. I think they're the best building out there, so I bought it. Sad to see her go. I've been looking for garage doors for the building because the end walls will have to build. I'm trying to get used ones off of Facebook Marketplace, and an 8-foot door, these chutes will barely squeeze in there. I better rethink my inks on that one. So we're gonna have two doors in the building. There'll be one in the back, one in the front. Back one's gonna be a little bit narrower, and the front one's gonna be a little bit wider. I better refocus my efforts and try to find a 12-foot wide by 10-foot high door for the front. The shed's gonna get ultimately full of the working facility, and then our little area will be a permanent little setup, and then maybe a little insulated room in there for the power unit. Potentially, if we get power trenched out here, we could have a little medicine refrigerator out here, or a frost-free room per se, to leave some things out here year-round. But anyways, the back door I can get a 9 by 8 regular garage door. The front I better get a 12 by 10. Carson from the Rip Ranch out in Utah, he said, I'll get you a pallet of Redmond Salt to try it for free. So that is a freebie there, boys. So I bought 2 pallets. Well, I bought 1 and I got 1 for free. But anyway, this is it. We're gonna take some out today, and yeah, you can eat it yourself. He's gonna send me the human version too. Let's get a whip over here and load it up. Parkour! Parkour! Sparky got into a little tussle last night. She struggles so much with being in a group. She started fighting with another dog, and then of course 3 other dogs came over and attacked Sparky for being a dummy. So she's a little roughed up behind the house and a little bit nervous. What's up? You got dragging a little bit of a leg? Load up, girl. There you go. You guys be nice. She's got mental issues, but you guys don't need to always be her counselor. I hauled some gravel yesterday. It rained again in the middle of the day. All of our haying efforts, I've pretty much just given up on haying for the time being. We got about 50 acres down. It's been rained on, been dewed on. It's all kinds of humidity until maybe tomorrow. They said it's gonna start to finally let up the humidity. So trying to be a super hayer, I finally just get through in the towel. Started other projects. You guys are in for a treat too. Sassy Pants is coming along. Here she comes.
Bella.
These blocks. Come on, we're all rooting for you. Okay, so the plan is I'm gonna put 2 block. I got 3 feeders in this pasture on each corner, and then I'm gonna put the 2 bags of loose mineral in this one because it's the biggest, baddest feeder. Sponsor me, Redmond. Can't believe how salt hungry the cows are this year. It's just been nuts. It wasn't, but I don't know, not even a week ago, I'd put 6-7 bags in here. I tagged that calf. I can't remember now if either he was a one nutter or we treated him for foot rot. But if they get a tag in their ear, there's something different about them. Otherwise, everybody that nothing happens to, I don't tag them. It's only I only tag the ones I touch or have a different issue. All right, let's mountain goat up and get rid of another block or two. Oh my gosh, she freaking stepped in it again on the way out and in. Who put that there? Timeless fence post. This is a 2-strand hot wire timeless fence dividing this is 2 quarters. This pasture used to be 2 full quarters, so 320 acres all in one. No divide fences. Well, now we've got 2 divide fences in here, so quick math on that is like what, 70, 80?
320 divided by 3 sections.
Yeah. Oh, it's over 100.
That's gonna be like 107.
So each pasture is 107, I guess. Look at that milk mustache. He doesn't have a tube. It's not too prominent, but boy, that's a nice looking calf. I'd lost a calf in this pasture a week or so ago in pneumonia, and I don't quite understand it. It was right after we worked them, maybe a week after we worked them. This group we worked on the hottest day, and I don't know if that was bad because the vaccine might not have worked as well if they were hot and heat stressed. We were done by 11 or 10:30 in the morning, and it wasn't terrible, I didn't think, but it got hot later that day, and I don't know. But I did treat it out here in the pasture, but it ended up dying, and it was pneumonia. I gotta pay attention here and goat up this hill and not hit a big rock, or if I do, be ready to bail out of the pickup and just send it down with sassy pants. And a lot of people just throw their salt feeder or them salt blocks right on the ground, but I kind of like the idea of keeping them in a container so it doesn't waste any into the ground. But this is the other corner. Now we're gonna go this big creek coulee here. Creek or coulee or crick? It's a coulee, and we got to go back around. We can't cross it, but then I got to feed her over in that corner of this is like a big triangle, if you can imagine. Because of the way this drainage went through here, we put our cross fences on either side of it where the going was good. Got quite a little bit of a gathering here at the first spot. Here's a bull. Here's a bull. Hello? I think there's 7 bulls out here. We saw 2. That's good. There's another one. So now we over here. We were over there. We had to go down the road and come back up. Nice. All right, we'll go introduce you to Steven, ranch hand Steven. He's gathering bales, just a handful of bales this morning. He gathered yesterday morning too. He's on the last bale, and then binoing. Oh, stand by, business call coming in. Ellie made a pile of rocks here. Girls.
Legs. Ah! Use your legs. Ah!
So I was binoing from the hill, and I looked out to the next group of cows, and there's a security breach out there. Looks like maybe 8 or so cows are on into a pasture they're not supposed to be. It's ours, but I still don't want them there. Remember, that thing is a pretty finicky. I always click that thing 3 times right away to make sure it doesn't overflow. Farmhand Steve doesn't know all the he doesn't know all the tricks yet of the ranch. I said there's 1,012 tricks that you'll have to learn in a week, and so far we're at 89, and I don't think he's retained any of them yet. Maybe 4, I'm not sure.
Feels like we're at about 1,000 already.
He thinks we're at 1,000 already. We're gonna take the 4-wheeler and bounce out to the closest salt spot on that group of cows, and that's kind of where they were. I saw those ones out, so we'll see if we can find a security breach in the fence there, and we'll let Steven do a little fencing. Everything grew pretty good, pretty well, pretty nice this summer. This was grazed pretty hard this spring, and then everything kind of grew back and went to seed. Lots of red clover and goldenrod all made it, but lots of native grasses went to seed too, which was good to see. Over in the hill, that orange stuff, that's little blue. Just a good year all around for everything. All right, we made her back in here. There's a cow there on the wrong side of the fence. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out and do the salt and try to get some attention to draw the cows that are here, and because there's like 8 pair over this hill that are supposed to be in here. But my guess is in that really steep spot there, the fence is shot and they got in between the double fence and they got out. You draw them that way, and then hopefully that'll help these cows want to come back. There's Farmhand Steve, he's activated. Lots of grass out here, but of course it is getting hard, and they'd much rather be on that regrowth pasture. There's definitely a lot of grass out here, and they're going to trample a lot of it, which is fine. That's what kind of how nature heals itself, you know. If you go through a couple of drought years where it's lean and they're grazing her down to the dirt, then you need a good year where they can grow up and have an abundance of grass and kind of eat some and pack it down. I mean, we got a real thick, lot of grass got knocked down. So she might tell us where she got out. She's starting wanting to come back now. Looks like she's going to lead us to where she got out. We'll have to investigate. Anyways, let's talk about Redmond. We're going to put let's put 2 bags of loose in there, and let's throw a block in the bottom, and then a couple bags on top of it, and then another block on the top.
Block at the bottom, then bags.
Yeah. Different spot. I don't think you guys really appreciate how goaty this truck is, but I got a crick up ahead here. We'll see if that's something we can navigate. Otherwise we'll be side saddling together. Steven checking out the collateral damage after he plowed into a rock. I don't know if he thinks it's the Indy out here or what, but like some type of motocross track. Got her with the Sonoma. How she got out, unless they crawled underneath the creek. It does look suspicious here though too, because they were in here and they did graze all this down. So this could be where they crawled underneath this wire. It looks like a lot of stuff has been in there. So what we'll do is, I got a gate right here by the tanks, since this is where they thought they got out. But as I look at this, what I should do, or what we could do, is we could take the wires off of this fence and then really add a bunch of wires across there. That way these cows could actually come up, cross the creek, and if they wanted to crawl up in here and drink out of these tanks, they could. Welcome back. We got the plan put together. My circular logic did a full circle, and then 3.14 pi radius r times the diameter. Here's what we come up with. We're going to fix that back like it should be and get them so they can't come into this spot. I don't think I'm going to let them in here. There is a gate here that I'm going to open, and we'll get some hot wire, poly wire, and we'll tie onto there. And I got a post set out here, and we'll make a little place where they can come out of this pasture and come over here and access these tanks. But they'll be drinking out of the right side of the tanks, not back here, you know, because it does overflow here, and the pipe is there, which we got to protect. So we don't want cattle in here. Steve-O is going to be on that side of the creek. I'm going to be on this side. We're going to run some wires across, do some dangler, hanging down things. Well, he did get the post out after it broke, and bound and determined to put it in the spot there. So there we go. We can tell you the story on Steve-O here. He's an engineer. He sits behind a desk, but he's doing pretty good for being out here in the wild, per se, from the big city. Yeah, it looks good. All right, folks, there we go. We got the dangler wangler hanging there and some wires across, so I think it'll hold them out. I'm gonna open this gate now, four-wheeler, and buzz over there. There's about 8 or 9 cows, I believe, I saw with the binos, and I'll go bring them and we'll stuff them back in, and then we'll continue our salt run. 2 more spots in this pasture. This is pretty good sized pasture, maybe just under 400 acres, so we got 3 salt spots again. Here we got a whole slug of these little rascals. Sounded a little suspicious. Oh, look at there's a Hebner cow leading the pack, huh? Naughty girls. Come on, you old creek dwellers. One too many calves, no? Or they're 4 and 4. There's only 5 calves and 6 cows, right? Yeah, so either one's been without her calf or he's still back there, but I'm not worried about that so much. I can't imagine a calf hanging out back there by himself, but they'll figure that part out. Yeah, old Red, you know what's up. Not a chance, girl. No, it was open to let them in, not you out. Yeah. They were coming in, you're staying in. Yeah. I seen you eyeing the gate too when you were building that across the creek. I saw you eyeing it. Well, she's after dinner. I'm thinking we can go bail. Let's go check it, then we'll go grab Steve-O. That's where the old fuel tank sat. I hauled the gravel in here yesterday. Scraped the sod out. There was a big grassy spot here. I scraped it out and shoved all the sod and dirt over there. I see old Jimbo must have got the backhoe fired up and leveled her off. Pretty respectable. So these were baled before the rain, kind of questionably. Oh, it's not, doesn't feel hot. Maybe this side. Yeah. No. Yeah, she's a little warm. She's a little warm in there. We're the headlands, so they're always a little wetter. Just probe her in first. They're tight and wet. Now if you hit the moisture button. 42.6. Perfect. That's a good idea. Now that 20.8, so that's fine. Anyways, I knew it was wrong when I was doing it, but I couldn't help myself. I was gonna start raking, but I can't start baling. It's too wet. It did start to wrap on this one, but didn't have no chance to get tight on anything because I put my little half shields. So what this was, see this? Little tiny piece of half pipe, real thin. It's the basketball hoop stand is what this was, and I cut half moons and they set over top, and I could just put little tack welds on there, and that's working. Now here it's got a little bit in there, but it's just a tiny bit, and that's what it used to do is right there. Once it gets started, it just gets tighter and tighter. But for some reason, it's always the back ones that are the worst. All right, he's firing up. He's gonna rake her up. Like I told him, I'm gonna get out of here, so I'm not tempted to start baling because it needs time. Too wet, it's tacky, not tacky, but it's a little moist underneath just from ground moisture and that little bit of rain we had yesterday. So I need to just stay away for a few hours. There's no chance of rain now, so I think we're good to go. Lot lizard. Hello? How come that's like that? How come the battery is dead? Tom, guess what? Here's your chance. Here's the debut. Here's gonna be the debut of the jumper cable. This is it. It's kind of weird that the batteries are dead though, or low. I hear the old Sonoma pulling down. I think some of it could have been that cable being loose in there, but I don't know. Maybe the Sonoma and those jumpers have that much power. Just the sheer power of the Sonoma. Well, and just like anything else that comes in a bag, last time it was ever gonna fit in there again. But the cables worked awesome. I had to grab me a little beverage here. We're off. Let's go get us a load of gravel while we wait. Stay out of trouble. Stay out of the hayfield so we don't make any poor decisions. zoom in on there. We just put those Redmond blocks out there this morning, and now all them cows are laying down and happy. There really must be something to do with that Redmond Salt. I've never seen them act like that before. Some good stuff. Deuces at the other super truckers out here hauling gravel, giving them the wave, acting like a real big shot in my freaking 1993 Ford L8000. Barely street legal, but I'm sure it's street legal. All right, let's run her over the scale. Ooh, a little heavy today, boys. 51,700. Well, that was extremely confusing for you guys. I was on the phone when I dumped the gravel in the yard, so you didn't get to see it. So now I got to go back and get another load so I can dump it, so you guys can watch me dump a load of gravel. You're like, we've already seen all this. We want to see some gravel being dumped. Throwing deuces. Get a wave out of him? Pretty consistent. They got a scale on their payloader. Now 50,080. Well, I just got stopped on the road here by Laverne. He wants this load of gravel, so that's where we're gonna dump her. Right up ahead here at his place. Said back, go through the lane and dump it on the south side. A little bit of pigeon grass right there where I think the old pile was. I gotta take that chain off. I got it set to spread, so I gotta take this chain off here. Should count those links. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, because it works pretty good. Okay, teleport me to the baler. Well, I'm to the baler. It is greased and ready to go, so we're gonna hop in. Steve-O got done. Let's see how it went. So, this is it. You're supposed to be prepping all day.
Wow, yeah, I've been thinking about that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Let's
right.
Tell them why you're here. Tell them what you're doing.
I'm raking.
Okay.
Raking hay.
All right.
Yep. Living the ranch life.
Yep.
For a week.
Yep. No charge. I didn't have to charge him nothing to come out here, he said. This is it. We're gonna start baling. To get myself a podcast going and get you guys on a time lapse. All right, I made one. Let's go check it out. Got a little bit of a wrapping starting here. I don't know why that happened. Ooh, boy, it looks nice, Matt. Yes, she does. Oh yeah, she dry, she dry. If you can rock a this one's a 70-inch bale, so if you can rock it with one hand like that, you're not carrying a lot of moisture. It's go time, boys and girls. Steve-O there, he's got all this picked, all this rock from over on the highway. He's worked his way all the way over there, going down every trail, every swath line, scouring the field for rocks, living the dream. Well, I got the far end done. Now I'm back worked over on this side, and I got to go down there, and there's a little island hump there that I don't know, whatever, 2, 3, 4 acres on that little hump. But yeah, it's tonning up pretty good, pretty nice stuff. Second crop awful fine, so that's a nice feed. I better shout out the rock block. Those things are the ticket for when you like back up. Typically when I get rocks thrown at the tractor, it's when you back up, when you don't have a windrow underneath you. Let's say you got to back up to cock a bale because of a hill, or whatever. This one's got a kicker on it. Sometimes if I'm facing downhill like I was right there, I'll back up, so I got a little chance to move ahead, so I'm not putting all that weight pushing a bale uphill and trying to just sit there like a pud. This rock block, I've heard some rocks and stuff whacking onto her. Go check that out at therockblock.com. But yeah, pretty good product. They make them for your Mocos as well. They're the original ones made just south of here, maybe 40 miles, 35 miles. So I know the guys. But yeah, check them out, rockblock.com. Well, it's doing good enough that we need to keep adding twine, so that means we're making bales. I gave Steve-O a half Wagyu steak last night. He liked it, but I didn't get the wow effect out of him, so he says he doesn't eat steak that often, so I got to take him out for another steak tonight. Try to get him pumped up, you know, so he's eating steak at least once a week. You guys should all eat a steak once a week. Treat yourself. Go have yourself a steak. Well, we got her done. Steve-O's got so many rocks in the back of the Sonoma that she's starting to sag down and activate the camper springs. We're gonna wrap this thing up and go have a pitchfork steak. Oh, he's actually bragging about the amount of rocks he has. Oh boy, Steve-O. That's one thing as a rancher in the hill country, you never want to brag on how many rocks you have or how big they are. Just told the guys that the camper springs are probably just kicking in now, the overloads. Oh heavens, yes, yes. Not coming over the sides yet.
Just getting warmed up?
Yeah. I said how you were kind of bragging about your big rock collection, and oh shoot, that's nothing. She's still got a lot of give to her. All right.
The sponge in the tires.
Yeah.
That's not the leaf springs.
Well, the Type A engineer, he takes rock picking literally, because then we got these guys, little pebble stones.
When I get out, I can't.
He's like, well, can't just go past them. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.